Ghana Water Company Limited is on a brink of potential shutdown due to a significant debt crisis. Energy Minister John Abdullahi Jinapor warned that the company risks disconnection from the national power grid unless it settles its outstanding electricity bill, estimated to be around 1 billion Ghana cedis. The Electricity Company of Ghana, ECG, is owed that particular amount. Now, Minister John Jinapor emphasizes that no state institution will be exempt from paying their electricity bills, signaling a shift towards stricter payment enforcement. He spoke with Evans Mesa on PM Express.
Has directed that we come out with what we call critical institutions, like theaters. You can't put them on prepayment meters. Critical health, maybe the military barracks, and some other installations. But the other ones, let me be clear, we're going to put them on prepayment meters, and it's going to be massive. A lot of people are complaining, especially the institutions. You talk to your men, they are cutting me off. Let them restore. I say, we'll restore, but have a payment plan. Ghana Water owes about 1 billion. They will be compelled to cut them.
Ghana Water Company itself?
Yes, we'll be compelled to cut them because you have paid. They have not paid. If they do not pay, the lights will go off. And if the lights go off, you will be affected.
Isn't that critical service too? Because water is life.
But they collect bills. They should pay some money.
How much did you say they owe again?
About 1 billion.
Cedis?
Yes. I can't allow that. Then ECG would also say that we're a critical institution. We can't pay for fuel. If I don't get fuel tomorrow, we're going to have load shedding.
I mean, for Ghana Water, how much time do they have to make this payment before you decide to cut them?
They should have a payment structure with ECG.
They still don't have a payment structure?
They don't.
Even though they owe 1 billion?
Yes, I've taken that matter to the presidency. The presidency is giving some directives. We're making progress. So far, I like the progress we are making. But we must make progress. You know, there's no shortcut to this issue. And I went to the finance minister. I said, Finance Minister, I need about 68 million to buy fuel. He said, Jinapor, let me be frank with you. This is the basket. This is the revenue for the whole year. If I continue to give you 68 million for only light crude oil, the budget will collapse.
Minister John Abdullahi Jinapor has also been speaking about the Electricity Company of Ghana. The minister has criticized the ECG over persistent power outages during the rainfall. Now, on the same program, PM Express, John Jinapor questioned the logic behind lights going off every time it rains, stressing the need for a reliable power supply to Ghanaians.
We've realized that a lot of the lines are bad. A lot of the transformers are obsolete. Now, if you want to change transformers, it takes time. Secondly, because of the current energy architecture, if I want to change your transformer, your lights have to go off before I change it. And so, naturally, people even get angry when the lights go off. But I'm meeting ECG today at 1:30, and as we leave here, you'll see them waiting for me. We're having a very, very crucial meeting. And yesterday, I put it on our platform. One, I do not see why the lights always go off when it rains. It makes no sense to me. The ECG MD and his team tried to explain, but I said, you must stretch yourself beyond what you are doing now. We must get to a level where, when it rains, the lights will stay on. I cannot accept that when it rains, 21 feeders go off. We must find a solution.
Is that the reality now? 21 feeders?
Yes, yesterday when it rained, about 21 feeders went off. And I asked, and they said the equipment and the machinery are so obsolete. That is what we've inherited. Our duty now is to ensure that we upgrade it.
Well, still on ECG, former board chairman of the company, Alexander Afful, is urging the Electricity Company of Ghana and government to pursue legal action against the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority over the missing ECG containers. Over 1,000 and other materials have gone missing at the Tema Port following years of delayed clearance. Some of them have been retrieved in a national security operation since then. Speaking on Joy FM Super Morning Show, Afful says the GPHA, as custodian of the containers upon arrival, owed ECG a duty of care.
You see, when you import your car, you buy a car and it is imported, it's brought into Ghana. It gets to the port and it is the custody of the port. When it is missing, you sue Ghana Ports.
Okay.
On all the agencies that handle your assets. It is not in your care. So a better explanation to this funny politics. And that is my problem with how we, the political actors, behave. ECG had a policy prior to my going there. And today I brought a board minutes. I knew it would come up, so I think I predicted right. I came with me with the board minutes of 28th of October. ECG had a policy that when it awards contracts to suppliers or vendors, the policy was you deliver to the port and hand over bill of lading and you claim for your payment. This has been the policy of ECG since time immemorial. It was I, Afful Markin, who upon seeing the policy, my first board meeting, I said, no, I'm a businessman. If ECG awards a contract and that contract terminates only at the port, ECG will lose. So that policy should change, where ECG's contract will terminate after delivery to our warehouses. And the board minutes witness that intervention by the board under my leadership. If containers are missing at the port, it is not the responsibility of the board nor the management. It is the responsibility of the port authorities, because they are in custody of the containers. So if they are missing, ECG must sue the port. The stakes, investigation agencies, national security should question the port authorities, but not to say that the board chairman should come and answer.
Away from that, lawyer for the indicted former Director General of the National Signals Bureau, Atachan, says he has cut all communications with the Attorney General, Dr. Dominic Ayine, because he's afraid he might be recorded and same audio leaked into the public domain. Now, despite the court ruling, the lawyer has accused the Attorney General of telling a cock and bull story when he informed the judge on Wednesday that surveillance shows that Edu Boahin attempted to interfere with a potential witness in the ongoing trial. Well, there's more in this report by Latif Idrisu.
When I spoke to Atachia briefly after the court proceedings, he was clearly unhappy about how the ruling went against one of his clients. He believes that the Attorney General told, quote and unquote, cock and bull story when he told the court that he had surveillance on Mr. Edu Boahin attempting to interfere with potential witnesses.
Is it the case that the surveillance and intelligence Dr. Ayine mentioned on Wednesday indeed has some weight, reason why Mr. Edu Boahin has been remanded?
What is the surveillance and the rest of it? If today Edu Boahin is stronger than Yoko and Edu Boahin is stronger than the national security, then President Mahama is not safe. A man pitting his strength against the nation. You know, when they come and tell the court such cock and bull story, they believe that is the end of the matter.
Dr. Atachia also mentioned to me that he has cut off all communications with Dr. Ayine, that is the Attorney General, because he is afraid whatever they discuss will be misinterpreted and maybe an audio would be leaked.
We don't have the evidence, but we rush the man to court and come and plead the court for more time. That's a travesty of justice, playing with the liberty of the individual. I don't want to talk to the Attorney General, although we are very good friends, lest somebody might even go and interpret it, and somebody might even go and leak a tape. I've been around for a long time, and the Attorney General knows it. I'm a senior at the bar, I'm not cheap.
So you've now cut all communications with Dr. Ayine, you would say?
I believe so. For now, I don't believe I should be discussing anything with the Attorney General.
Immediately after the proceedings and when Kwabna Edu Boahin was whisked away by Iyoko, I caught up with him and I asked him what he makes of the ruling of the judge. This was what transpired.
Any words?
All right. The other two accused persons, the wife of Mr. Edu Boahin and the third accused person, are currently enjoying their bails. That is the police inquiry bail being enjoyed by the third accused person, and the court bail being enjoyed by the wife of Mr. Edubwahin. They are free for now, but Mr. Edubwahin is going to spend some 7 days in the custody of Yoko. From the court complex, Latif Idris reporting for Joy News.
Well, in a related development, the national organizer of the New Patriotic Party, Henry Nana Boakye, is calling for the resignation of the Attorney General, Dr. Dominic Ayine, over some allegations of involvement in fraudulent dealings. Now, you will remember that the MP A+ has alleged some fraudulent dealings involving the Attorney General. This has forced the organizer of the NPP to then say that the Attorney General needs to resign over those allegations. But we'll hear from him shortly. Before we do that, though, here is the Attorney General who was responding to some of these allegations. Listen.
As your Attorney General, I wish to assure you that I have sufficient reserves of integrity to continue to perform the task assigned me by His Excellency, the President of the Republic. I have never stolen before in my life and have never received a bribe in public office. All those who have dealt with me know this for a fact, and the President would not have appointed me his Attorney General if he had questions about my personal integrity. That is why it came to me as a big surprise when the Honourable Member for Zibgomoa Central, the Honourable Kwame Asare-Obeng, aka A+, took to social media to make spurious allegations against me, calling me corrupt and a thief. Besides the name calling, the Facebook post in its totality was a palpable falsehood. I was never involved in the passage of the sanitation levy, as I was not a member of the Finance Committee of Parliament, let alone to be in a position to influence the composition of the membership of the committee. And I have the Hansard as documentary support for what I'm saying.
So this is the issues that have been cropping up on social media, and Henry Nana Boakye, reacting to this, is calling on the Attorney General to resign.
The Attorney General should either resign or he must be sacked. What is the problem here? You see, let me first of all read Article 88 in the Constitution. There shall be an Attorney General of Ghana, who shall be a Minister of State and the principal legal advisor to the government. 2. The Attorney General shall discharge such other duties of legal nature as may be referred or assigned to him by the President, or imposed on him by the Constitution or any other law. The Attorney General shall be responsible for the initiation and conduct of all prosecutions of criminal offences. All offences prosecuted in the name of the Republic of Ghana shall be the suit of the Attorney General or other person authorized by him in accordance with any law. The Attorney General shall be responsible, this is 5, responsible for institution and conduct of all civil cases on behalf of the state, and all civil proceedings against the state shall be instituted against the Attorney General as a defendant. 6, final one. The Attorney General shall have audience in all courts in Ghana.
Which one has it fallen short of this provision in the 1992 Constitution?
A+ says you are corrupt and a thief. A+ is not just any person now. A+ is an honorable member of parliament who belongs to the majority. Now, in your response, you are saying that A+ is saying so because you went for some campaign funds from one Dr. Sledge. That is why A+ is saying so. And people have even advised you to take or to initiate legal proceedings against A+. That's a defamation suit against A+. But you will not do that because you don't want to be distracted. And if A+ thinks that he wants to play with you in the mud, that is where you want. You are from the mud. Where you are not afraid of the mud. So you go into the mud. Who says we want our Attorney General to be playing in the mud?
Away from that, for over 6 months, Techiman, a vital commercial hub in the Bono East region, has been grappling with a severe crisis. The city's main streets are shrouded in darkness due to non-functioning streetlights, creating an environment conducive for criminals. While residents are sounding the alarm, citing increased theft, they want government to immediately fix the problem. There's more in this report by Anas Sabit.
Behind me is the Chiman's principal street, a critical artery that connects homes, markets and businesses. But as night falls, this street, like many others, becomes a hazard. Residents say thieves, accidents and fear now dominates their nights. Let's hear from the very people who are directly affected by the situation.
It is worrying to us because the whole regional capital like this crosses the road at night with fear of being knocked down by vehicles. A few days ago, a young girl was knocked down by a motorbike. When you check right now, you'll see how dark the place is. It's not appropriate at all. Darkness brings about a loss of crime. Even visitors are not happy when they get into the city at night. I have spoken about this before. From residents through to the Suman Road, there is no light. I had to report to the assemblyman at a point. Pedestrians risk their lives daily. Sadiq Karams tells me how his brother was knocked down by a speeding vehicle last year. He says the situation is worrying. A brother of mine was knocked down by a car last year due to absence of street lights, and his leg is broken. The situation continued to fear into us until it crosses the road too, and that compounds to the challenge. Pedestrian knockdowns aren't the only danger. Thieves are also taking advantage of the situation to steal from unsuspecting residents. Darkness This one here at the famous vegetable market is currently out of service, a situation that is exposing the people to danger and traders here worried.
Well, cocoa board workers are urging President Mahama to step up efforts to combat illegal mining and cocoa smuggling, which threatens their livelihood and Ghana's cocoa industry. During May Day celebrations, leader of the Cocoa Board Workers Union, Isaac Ansah, highlighted the devastating impact of galamsey on cocoa farms, water bodies and local communities. He also expressed concern about cocoa smuggling, warning that it erodes the economy and undermines the cocoa sector.
We've always said that, when it comes to cocoa board, it's the backbone of the economy. Our challenges are just few, but very strong. One of which is the galamsey, which is having a major effect on our economy. It is our prayer that the government will be able to put in some social interventions that will be able to take care of this thing. When it comes to the issue of galamsey, it's a very difficult subject because this is something that livelihoods depends on. I mean, when you're in Accra, you will not see it when you go to the village in those areas. You realize that it is not their will to actually participate in galamsey, but there is no option. So it is on my view, the government in its social interventions will create companies, create factories, give the youth, capacity, build them, educate them, so that they can go into the private sector development. I have said many times that an employee cannot become a billionaire. There is no billionaire employee. And the only way to achieve that is to push the formal sector into the informal environment, where individuals who are working in cocoa can still have the opportunity to create other businesses to boost the economy. The other one has to do with the smuggling. And let me first appreciate our new chief executive in the person of Dr. Randy Abbey. The new social interventions and his vision for the industry tells us clearly, he has a plan in mind. And he has mentioned it over period that very soon the price tag is going to come up come September, August, September. And he's of the view of praying that he will be able to increase it, maybe cry above what the friend is saying, Cote d'Ivoire is doing, and that is the first step to control the smuggling of cocoa into our neighboring countries.
Still on illegal mining, the Minerals Development Fund is intensifying its surveillance on mining community to ensure that mining activities benefit local population. The new administrator of the fund, Hannah Louisa Bisiu, has been speaking on Upfront with Blessed Sugar. And there's more in this report.
A bird's eye view giving a glimpse of the impact of mining on rural communities. This ecological loss is being worsened by activities of miners who also pollute river bodies, leaving residents with little or no livelihood opportunities. However, just days after her appointment by President Mahama, administrator of the Minerals Development Fund, Hannah Bisiu Kote, says she is on a mission to change that scenario.
The truth of the matter is we've not been fair with our brothers and sisters living in our mining communities.
Really?
No, we've not. We've not. And MDF is the voice of these people. You see, give me one mining community that you go and you see, you actually feel or see what is taken out of their soil.
Yeah, but
when you go to these mining companies, they'll tell you, oh, we spent $20 million US on CSR.
But are they not spending on that?
Please, when you give me $20 million now, and I'll give you heaven in a community.
While pledging for the judicious use of mineral royalties, Hannah says the reforms must begin from her own outfit. Upon assuming office, the administrator got the shock of her life after learning that her office building cost $1.4 million United States dollars as rent for 12 years. After raising concerns about the transaction, the administrator says she was offered a bribe of $10,000 US dollars.
One gentleman, Babna Kufu. He introduced himself to me as the nephew of President Kufu. Then I said, you rip us off. But he came back. We went into this back and forth, and I told him, no, we're not going to stay here. I didn't want to be part of these negotiations. So he left a white envelope on top of my table. When I sat and I opened, it had $10,000. It tied with a rubber band. I called him. In fact, I stepped out. I called one of the guys. I said, chase that man. They said the administrator. I said, no. My security is here. I called him. I said, no, chase him. No, not the administrator, the one who came with him. So he came back. Then when he came, I was seated by my desk. So now he sat on it. I asked, you left an envelope on my table. What was it for? These were his words. And me, I've said this over and over. There's only one thing I fear, the wrath of God.
First off, are you mindful of the legal implications of the decision you're taking to move out?
Can I ask a question? When does the thief get the right to say something? This is government. This is state. So you give me something that has no value for money, you rip us off, and then you put some funny words on paper to tie the hands of the state. Trust me, I will stand up and stand in any day, any time.
But you know that's a possibility. He could take you on legally.
You could take you on legally. That I say he bribed me.
And that you are moving out.
Oh, yeah, we've moved out. Why was he begging me?
As the Economic and Organized Crime Office proceeds with investigations into the alleged bribery, there is no doubt that many mining communities remain in search of interventions that will mitigate the impacts of mining. Blair Sugan's report for Joy News, Accra.
Well, President John Dramani Mahama has sworn in Dr. Al-Hassan Idrisu as new government statistician, assuring him of full independence in his duties. The president pledged that the production of national data will be free from political interference, emphasizing the importance of credible and timely statistics to support private sector development, investment community, and the academia.
We live in a data-intensive age, and Ghana cannot afford to fall behind in collecting, harmonizing, and disseminating reliable statistics. Whether tracking inflation and GDP, monitoring SDGs progress, mapping climate impact, or preparing for the next population census, the Ghana Statistical Service must lead with credibility, independence, and innovation. Let me use this opportunity to reaffirm government's commitment to protecting statistical services' professional independence. Statistical integrity is not a luxury, it's a necessity. Citizens must believe that the numbers published by the service are objective and factual and are free from political interference. Investors must be assured that Ghana's macroeconomic data is credible.
Well, the new government statistician, Dr. Alhassan Idrisu, welcomed the assurance and pledged to lead a data-driven transformation of the statistical service.
We will actively anticipate and respond to the emerging data needs of a dynamic economy and ambitious, forward-looking people. Your Excellency, guided by the Statistical Service Act 2019, Act 1003, our national priorities, and global best practices, I envisioned a modern, world-class, technology-driven, agile, and trusted statistical service that, 1, repositions our national statistical system as a dynamic, technology-driven, and responsive platform for decision-making. 2, that aligns data production with strategic national objectives, ensuring government and private sector interventions are evidence-led and impactful. 3, that improves the timeliness, accuracy, and integrity of official statistics, making them dependable foundation for national dialogue and progress.
This is still JoyNewsPrime. We'll take a break here. We will be back with more news. Please do stay. Welcome back from the break.
To other stories now, the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly Chief Executive Richard Ofori-Agyemang has cautioned traders at Edum PZ against hastily rebuilding their shops and structures destroyed in a recent fire outbreak. While speaking to journalists, Richard Boedi emphasized the need for coordinated rebuilding efforts guided by proper planning to prevent future disasters. There's more in this engagement.
So even in the medians, there's not everybody that is gone. We still have a lot of troubles with the medians, and from Monday going, we are going to energize the whole activity. We have seen some progress around the Prudential Bank area, around the Hello FM stretch, but that's not enough for us. We're going to make sure that every runabout do not have any truck or any bus loading to take passengers to wherever. So the runabouts around KJT, there are 2 runabouts, and the one around the Dishman area in front of the MTN office close to the zoo. From Monday, we will make sure that everybody that is there is taken off, and anybody that has any metallic object on the street from Monday. I said yesterday that I'm not going to do any announcement. I've made all announcements that I have to make. Everybody is aware that we do not want to entertain them. So from Monday, we're going to give it a lot of energy. Anything that we seize on the street, you won't get it back. Any item that we seize on the street, we're not going to fine you for you to come and take it. Anything we take from the street, you won't get it back.
And we've seen that the PZ Blue Light area that was engulfed by fire, the shop owners have started building their structures. I was there. I've seen this morning that they are still building, but you've served notice. It's still ongoing.
Yeah, you see, this city will have a problem. Everybody wants something to be done. Nobody wants to support it. When you're doing the right thing, the people read negative meanings into it. If I am to go through the process of going through a bureaucratic process to go and hire one excavator to demolish it, it will take me like 3 weeks at the earliest. So when I saw the activity, I decided to fall on national security to get excavators that has been seized to come and demolish the building urgently. And look at the backlash I got. You understand? So what it means is that now I've refrained myself from using seized excavators that are with the national security. So we're going to look at. But you see, that's a bigger problem. That's a bigger problem. We need everybody, everything that I'm doing, even if the approach is not right. The ultimate goal is what people should look at. I only want to serve Kumasi with the best of my abilities. I want to protect lives.
Away from that, Ghana is facing a surge in cybercrime, particularly online blackmail and sextortion scams, with victims losing nearly 500,000 Ghana cedis in just 4 months. The Cyber Security Authority has issued urgent warnings and recommendations to protect citizens. And there is more in the following report.
A fresh public alert from the Cyber Security Authority is raising red flags over a disturbing spike in digital extortion cases. While the number of reported incidents has seen only a slight increase, the financial damage has surged dramatically from just over 103,000 cedis between January and April last year to nearly 500,000 cedis in the same period this year. The authority says cyber criminals are becoming more daring and sophisticated as they are creating fake social media profiles using stolen photos of attractive individuals to lure unsuspecting victims into what appear to be romantic chats. According to the authority, in a statement issued on Friday, May 2, once they have earned the victim's trust, they convince them to share intimate videos or photos. These are then secretly recorded and used as tools of blackmail. Victims are then hit with terrifying ultimatums such as demand for money and often through mobile transfers, or watch your private content go public. And even after payment, the threats don't stop, with some victims dragged deeper into emotional and financial despair.
Well, the chief research scientist at the Ghana Atomic Energy Commission, Professor Francis Otu, has stressed the need for government to channel more resources into the practical aspect of science education if Ghana is to fully participate in the fourth industrial revolution. According to him, science must go beyond theory. It must be seen, touched, and experimented with.
Chief Research Scientist at the Ghana Atomic Energy Commission, Professor Francis Otu, made the call when students from Shama Senior High School visited the commission to tour its labs and gain exposure to scientific and modern nuclear technology equipment. The educational tour was facilitated by the Minister of Fisheries and Aquaculture and MP for Shama, Emilia Arthur. It was aimed at exposing the students to the vast opportunities in science, technology, and research, and to help them consider careers in the sciences. In an interview, Professor Otu stressed the importance of building and properly equipping science labs in senior high schools across the country.
Science is all about practical application. There's no way you can sit at office and do science. But in the science world, you need to get very good equipment as well as laboratory. Without a practical aspect of very good laboratory infrastructure, it will be difficult for you to do science. Because science is not like other subjects like history, where you can read. And the science goes with practical. But whatever you can, whatever you say, if you need data that you bring it out, you need to automatically do a practical aspect of it in order to authenticate whether that data is really right or correct for whatever you are doing. So without science, it will be difficult to really study. And without practical or equipment, you can never do science. So I'm happy that they're having this experience. And also, I also take this opportunity to also ask government support to improve what they call science laboratory, especially with regard to our countries, where they lack a lot of science equipment. So when you went there, they will lack a lot of science equipment. It will be difficult for them to embrace maybe the basis of science. Without the practical aspect, science will not be really appreciated.
Professor Otu expressed gratitude to the MP for Shama, Emilia Arthur, for her commitment to improving education in her constituency.
United the way of improving science is really something that is really should be encouraged and highly recommended. This year, that's a March, she facilitated a project which led to a collaboration between the University of Arrowhead at Afful, and then also University of Udine, that's from the Department of Medicine. And this particular research also will help to train lecturers, medical professionals for both short-term and long-term. And as I'm talking to you now, one student has allocated full scholarship that to do his or her PhD in one of the medicine areas or allied health sciences. So,
the head of the science department at Shama SHS, Solomon Boydiama, said the experience would greatly benefit the school as it prepares for this year's National Science and Math Quiz.
But we brought our team here, so they are 7, they are all here. It will help them because, like I said, the topics that I mentioned is the atomic physics and nuclear chemistry. They are also part of the questions that are asked during the science and math competition. So if they really understand the thing here practically, we'll be able to answer questions that will also help you to get far as far as the quiz is concerned.
Well, away from that, Edu Sports, a Ghanaian British NGO, has launched its 2025 Catalyst Leadership Academy in Akumadine, bringing together 50 community leaders to spark sustainable change across local communities in the country. My colleague Anas Sabet brings to us the story of how these catalysts are rewriting the future of education, one community at a time.
In Ghana's Ashanti region, a transformation in education is taking root and is being led not by policymakers in suits, but by everyday heroes from 50 communities. Here at the Akumadan Community Library, where EduSport's 5-day residential boot camp is taking place, 50 passionate changemakers called catalysts are gathering to spark a wave of community-led transformation. These catalysts will spend the next 10 months designing projects tailored to their community's needs. Fahad Abdurrahman is the Leadership Program Manager at EduSports.
This year, we're bringing together 50 committed catalysts from 50 sports and imbibing them the principles of leading sustainable change in their communities. And essentially, the Catalyze program also comes with a very significant grant funding that seeks to support catalysts to initiate projects that stands the test of time, that impacts their communities more widely.
Meet Wise Kofi Afajinu, a catalyst from Abutia Sport in the Volta region. Wise tells me how joining EduSports transformed his leadership and community collaboration.
I've realized that I've gained a lot of leadership skills that has not only allowed me to engage only the youth, but the community as large.
Last year's Catalyst boosted library access for some 15,000 kids and trained many more girls in digital skills. Love Do El Shaddai is from the Dadrin Sport in the Western region.
My learners were not having this confidence to read in public and also to speak. But through EduSport and Degelit, I'm able to organize this reading activities for the learners.
Driving this vision is EduSports founder and chief executive officer, Kat Tivison. For her, what inspires her is the rippling impact of the sports to their communities.
Students as well, aged as young as 14, being catalysts for their communities and being able to, open the library, lead sessions, get other younger ones reading books, teaching kids how to read at a basic level. This is what motivates me.
EduSports is proving that lasting change starts with local leaders, and with backing from the UK's EA Foundation, this program is scaling rapidly. Anas Sabit, JoyNews, Akumadine.
This is where I leave you, Samuel Kojo Brace. It feels good to have you back. I missed you.
It's good always to be back.
Happy belated birthday, though. You feel like, well, Showbiz is up next, and Becky will be in the studio.